Bethany, say hello to Daniel.
That's my penis.
Daniel?
It will be.
JVC video recorder.
Well, it's not quite Daniel.
You missed a good crack, Daniel. Get over here. Can I give you a movie?
No, not quite.
Can I give you a movie?
That's good shots to the ceiling. Well, you don't have anyone, so it seems to be fine. I don't quite know whether Daniel can hear me. Bernie's reading already. Rabbi? Boss?
You're doing it back up.
That's your father. Michelle is your mummy. And there's everybody. Stephanie? You want to say hello to Michelle? Michelle will see you.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
How's the bump going? Can we still not see it?
It's really, really big. Probably. Well, I put it in a little bump.
Which street you live in?
I'm nowhere am I going to Rabbi. Get a good video of Brit and yes. There's my fiance, but it's not me. Just go back and Alison again. Alison's not 30 with 3 kids. Alison
I'm not 30 with 3 kids.
is 12.
I'm 29 and 11 months with 3 kids.
12. It's bad.
I've got a really spacky brother.
Alison,
For bestowing the honour of Chatan Torah on me. For those who haven't been Chatan Torah before, it's a bit like making love.
Dad? Dad?
that's it.
It's very flattering to be asked. It's absolutely delightful to accept the offer, and it's very enjoyable doing it.
Wow!
How long does it last, Harvey?
We all know, we all recognise the community is growing apace, and it's due in no small measure to our inspired rabbi and the past and present lay leaders, and they've been absolutely wonderful. I must express our gratitude to them as well, and of course to the wider community, and especially our guests here tonight. Really very, very kind and wonderful good wishes and gestures that are really very, very pleasing. Carol Ann and I, we enjoy working in the community in the little way we do, and I think we have been inspired by the example of our late parents, and in our honour, they are honoured. Our children, Alison and Daniel and Benjamin, and their partners, of course, new ones come around as well. They're also involved in their own various ways in the community, and they make us very, very proud. I think they, in their way, also do great honour to our late parents. To Merlis and David, can I thank you for being our very enjoyable partners in this Simcha. We're very, very pleased.
It's been wonderful. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Very well. It's been delightful.
You've been wonderful. You've been. Thank you. We're delighted you're here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
No, we don't do
Ladies and gentlemen, Chatan Torah, Chatan Bereshit, hostesses, parents, Mrs. Vogel, Mr. and Mrs. Cohen, all the family of the Chatanim, friends all. This is a special event in the life of our Stanmore and Cannons Park Synagogue, because this, as you all know, is the 50th anniversary of the founding of our community. And as such, the chosen Chatanim for this year had to be people who had made a great impression on the community and a great contribution in our multifarious activities. And I'm sure that the army officers, and I know that they thought long and hard to find Chatanim who would do justice to this particular important year in our community. And they found Harvey and David, who have won universal acclaim as the finest choice we could have made. To start with our Chatan Torah, Harvey, and his Eshet Chayil, Carol Ann. I don't think we have to tell the community of their contribution, particularly Harvey in the area of rolling up his sleeves and doing whatever job is required to be done around the community for Sukkot, for Yom Ha'atzmaut, in whatever area we need his services. He does it in a quiet way. He doesn't want people to know what he's doing. He works in the late hours of the night, climbing up the ladders, and we appreciate it. We really do. And please God, you should do it together with Caroline and your wonderful family, your children and grandchildren, both in Israel and around the corner, for many, many decades to come. Carol Ann, of course, also makes a very valuable contribution to the youth, in particular the youth of our community, and she exerts an amazing influence, constructive influence on them and generations of our young people, and we're grateful to her as well for that. Our Chatan Bereshit David. What can I say about David? Be very careful after what Harvey was talking about earlier. Don't talk about about a year and a half ago I had a frozen shoulder, and I put it out that it was caused by tennis, In fact, it was through David twisting my arm. David, of course, is renowned far and wide in the metropolis and in Israel. His work for Israel, for JIA, for Jews in countries of oppression is quite unique. And we are very proud indeed of the position that he holds, particularly at the moment in the JIA, how he has worked himself up to executive office in the JIA and how much he is appreciated by all the key workers and their fellow executives on the JIA. And David, keep up the good work. You've done amazing things, not just as chairman of the Kol Nidre Appeal, that is just one aspect of your work. You have raised countless, millions for Israel, and your influence, your magnetic influence on people is quite profound and appreciated by all. And you're Eshet Chayil, Merlis, equally the power behind the throne, the quiet one, but certainly the one who exerts the calming influence on David and guides him. Is a Kohen after all. And makes him the happy and fulfilled man that he certainly is. And Merlis' efforts for Israel, for Jewish Women's Week, for all the other week-so activities, all her wonderful work is really most appreciated. And as for the parents, they have received the tradition from their parents, and one can see the look of nachas on their faces, and please God they should continue to have great joy from their children and grandchildren, and please God in due course, although we're not rushing things, from the grandchildren. We read the Sidra Bereshit, the beginning of the Sidra Bereshit on Simchat Torah, and the rabbis have a beautiful midrash, a profound midrash, which says that when God wished to create the world, he took advice with the powers, the influences that would come into being in the world. He approached Tzedek and Chesed, righteousness, charity, acts of kindness and grace. And he asked them, should we create the world? And they said, yes, you must create the world, because human beings will have tzedek. They will deal justly with one another. They will have chesed. They'll show kindness, and they will be charitable towards each other. And he turned to emet and shalom, to truth and to peace. And he said to them, shall we create the world? And they said, definitely not. Human beings will not act truly. They will have ulterior motives, even for the good things that they do. And they will certainly not embrace the principles of shalom, of peace. They'll be warmongering by nature. They'll never be peaceful people. And God was faced with two on one side, Tzedek and Chesed, and Emet and Shalom on the other side. And he decided that he was going to create his world. So he took Emet, the Midrash says, he took truth, and he cast it down to the earth. He destroyed it, leaving Chesed and Tzedek on one side, kindness and charitableness on one side, which was promoting the creation, and only Shalom on the side that was opposing the creation of the world. And therefore, following the majority, 2 against 1, God said, we will create the world. But there is a philosophical question that we can ask, and that is, why did God throw emet, truth, to the earth? Why didn't he throw shalom down to the ground? And the answer is, one of the answers is, that had emet remained on the opposing side to chesed and tzedek, then even though they were two, they would not have succeeded in vanquishing emet. Why? Because without emet, without truth, the chesed and the tzedek amounts to nothing. If one's kindness and charitableness is not based on worthy motives, if it doesn't rest on truth, if truth isn't their natural ally, then they're worthless. They don't add up to anything. And I would like to say that we see people doing chesed and tzedek. We see our Chatan Torah and Chatan Bereshit. We see them involved in altruistic works within the community. And I have no doubt that they are the allies of Emet. That they are doing it for the true reasons, for the real reasons, because they have a Yiddish neshama, because they want the betterment of the community, they want Israel to prosper, they want peace, they want all the things that are inherent in those qualities that God consulted. And it is our hope and prayer that the Almighty will bless you both and your dear families, and of course the parents, for many, many years to continue your good work, to enable Stanmore to benefit from your contributions, to enable Israel to benefit, to enable Klal Yisrael to benefit. God bless you all.
Jeffrey, thank you very much for your words. We're lost for words in thanking you. On behalf of Merlis and I, really thank you. I want to echo Harvey's words and to say that we are very cognizant of the fact that this is the Jubilee year of Stanmore, and that we've received our honour this year. And I particularly want to thank the honorary officers for that very great privilege that they've bestowed on us. It has been an absolute delight working with Caroline and Harvey for this simcha, and it has been a simcha, and it is a simcha. We couldn't have wished to do it with nicer people. If I can say one word to you, Jeffrey, to thank you for support, the encouragement, the very fact that you have been here ever since you and Gloria have moved into Stanmore. It's been a great sense of encouragement and strength to Merlis and I. And I want to say, and it's true, that we received a lot of encouragement and a lot of strength and a lot of support from your predecessor, Rabbi Chatowitz, Zichrono Livrocha, who, in the days when we were busy with Soviet Jewry in a clandestine way, just as we slept due to Israel, we slept into Russia.
I got the best deal.
And I have to say that we've always received, from the very day we came to Stanmore, we received the support, the friendship, and the love of this wonderful community. I want to also just take this opportunity to thank Merlis for just being there at all times and allowing me to do things which without her we'd never have done. Thank you.
Dad, everyone can hear it. Oh, you give me instructions, there's all on the video.
All right, so then you remember them.